Financial professionals are increasingly using exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, to construct portfolios. However, collecting ETF data can often be time-consuming, involving going to sites like iShares or Spiders to aggregate data. This data may then need to be standardized and analyzed in Excel. FirstBridge reduces ETF data aggregation and analysis from hours to minutes. Let's take a look. Let's assume we have 3 sample ETF-based portfolios that we've uploaded into the FirstBridge system. Let's take a look at one. We can see what ETFs it holds and their respective weights in the portfolio. We may want to now understand the sector and market cap exposure we have in the portfolio, which we can do by selecting the View Analysis button. We can see, for example, that we have 25% of our portfolio in the financial sector, which may represent a significant risk. We can do a deeper dive to see which specific industries and stocks we have exposure to within each sector. The FirstBridge tool also gives us an instant breakdown of our market cap exposure. It allows us to see the stock overlap within the portfolio. For example, we hold Singapore Telecom within 3 ETFs, increasing our exposure to that company. The FirstBridge tool also gives us recommendations based on ETFs we hold. For example, we hold the ETF EMFN. We can see 3 other ETFs that are the most similar to EMFN and that also have lower expense ratios. We can compare these ETFs on different dimensions, such as industry similarity, holdings overlap, and overall similarity, allowing us to make trade-offs when we select ETFs. Let's assume we want to take a close look at KBWX, since it has a 79% similarity to EMFN and a lower expense ratio. We can compare their expenses, historical returns, and top 10 holdings. We may want to do a deeper dive into KBWX to see if it truly represents an alternative to EMFN. We can look at its various characteristics, as well as its stock holdings. We can download its holdings, something we can do for every single ETF in the FirstBridge database. Finally, during our analysis, we may want to go back to first principles to screen the entire universe of ETFs for international financial sector funds. In this case, we would select equities, international, and financial sector to find our universe of funds. Similarly, we could also screen on criteria such as expense ratio, past returns, index weighting, fund sponsor, or a combination of these factors. A range of financial professionals, including individual RIAs and hedge funds, use FirstBridge to generate valuable insight in minutes, allowing them to focus on their clients, doing higher value analysis, and growing their business.